Come on in and have a seat. Good to see everybody today. Come on in. We'll give it a minute or two, let everybody get rolling in. Now's the time where we would have like some music playing. Some of our favorite music. I don't know about you guys. My favorite is classic rock and roll. So right now we would have some Tom Petty going. I guess if I was more forward thinking, I would have said, Cheryl, let's get some Tom Petty rolling to get the day started today. Running Down a Dream or something like that, right? All right, do me a favor before I make formal introductions. Go ahead and type into the comments here where you are. Just let everybody know where you are. Would be the way to start today's Zoom session. Just tell everybody where you are because we can see your name, I think, in the chat. Is that right, Nathan?
We can.
Yeah. So just tell everybody where you are and come on in and let's get settled in. As you're doing that, let me tell you why it's important to let people know where you are. How many of you have heard Craig and I talk about like Anna from Ottawa? So Anna Alimi, who's in Ottawa, Craig Proctor System, your home sold guaranteed realty owner, actually. People associate Ottawa, Anna in Ottawa. So if you got a referral or somebody thinking about relocating to, quote, Ottawa, first person that comes to mind, Anna. And it is way cool to be known as that professional in your marketplace. So this Craig Proctor System Nation that you guys are part of, it is got a lot of people in it. And many of them are doing really good with the plan and system that we're going to talk about today. And it leads to referrals. And you want to be on the receiving end of those prospects. So if you stay in the shadows, stay in the background, you guys know what I'm saying? Like you're not really outspoken about who you are and where you are. You really can't expect those, quote, referrals to flow your way. And trust me, we want them to flow your way. All right. So I want to welcome all of you into today's session. My name is Todd Walters. I'm here with Cheryl O'Reilly and Nathan O'Reilly. Yes, they are related. Cheryl, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Nathan?
Hey, it is a day in the life of paradise over here for me, Todd.
That's great. All right. So if you guys are unfamiliar with who we are and what we're doing, I don't think you are, but most of you guys have been around a little bit. You're Craig Proctor System coaching level members. Okay. Cheryl, Nathan, and myself, we spend the majority of our time with Platinum, Titanium, and your home sold guaranteed realty members. So on occasions, we like to do Zoom meetings for coaching members to share with them what's happening with Craig Proctor System members that are doing really, 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 really well. And when we say really well, we're not talking about, a home sale here or there. We're talking about high 6, 7-figure incomes, businesses. And these are enterprises that work without their constant involvement. In other words, I like to say real estate sales team business. So super profitable sales team. As a matter of fact, we have a philosophy. This is worth writing down. Our belief is, Craig and I wrote a book on it called Death of the Traditional Real Estate Agent, Rise of the Super Profitable Sales Team. And our belief is, and we make the case in the book, that either you should be on a super profitable sales team or you should have your own. Okay. So that's our belief. That's our philosophy. And the solo practitioner, the solo agent who tries to do everything all by themselves, quote, forever, starves out, burns out. And I'm going to show you some stats in a minute to let you know like the seriousness of that issue there. So, and leverage is pretty much a better way to run your life and business anyway. That's why you guys made it into the Craig Proctor system to start with. So anyway, that's it. So Nathan O'Reilly, I'm going to let you introduce yourself real fast. Tell everybody who you are, specifically what you do, why you're here today. Do you mind?
Not a problem at all. So how's everyone doing? I'm Nathan O'Reilly. I am the VP of sales over here. So basically Todd has me help you guys directly into diving in, send you guys up the ladder and really getting your pathway to where you guys want to go. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's like, okay, what do you want to do personally, professionally, and financially? By the way, that's the first thing we usually start with you guys. We got to know what it is that you guys want. Without knowing what you guys want, I can't help you achieve what you want. So we got to know what you want. And then our goal is to help you guys achieve that. So that's what I basically am doing on a regular basis to help you guys out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, when you say you guys, you do pretty much spend most of your time, if I'm not mistaken, with platinum members, titanium, your home sold guarantee, but you talk to coaching members. Really, it's a matter of moving them along, right?
100%. Yeah. It's like, okay, so you're sitting here. I'm like, and are you a good fit to be able to jump into our next level into our system? And so we basically are making sure we sit down, we have a deep conversation to be able to see, okay, where is your business? How can I best help your business out? And then I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a good fit. You might be able to do platinum. And then we kind of drive your pathway up to success, depending on where you are.
Okay. That's good enough. All right. So you guys may want to write this down. Hopefully you got your notepad. Here's a big takeaway from what Nathan just said. Direction, not intention. Direction determines your destination. Most every real estate agent I ever met in the Craig Proctor system since I've been around since the mid-90s, and platinum coach since 2004 when we invented it. There's plenty of people here that have great intentions. I intend to sell more homes and make more money. I intend to have a super profitable sales team business that works without me. I intend to retire rich, or whatever your quote vision or goals may be in your life. Intentions have very little to do with it. Okay. It's direction. And all of you, including me, Nathan, and Cheryl here today, we're all headed somewhere. So the direction you're going in will determine your destination. So our mission today is to help you, if necessary, change the direction that you're headed so you achieve your biggest goals. All right. That's it. So, and most people do need to change the direction they're going in. What you're doing, how you're doing things, what you think about, how you think about things, pretty much manifest into the direction that you're going in. So do you need a course correction to achieve your biggest goals? Do you see yourself on the pathway to achieving what you most want? That's the question that you guys got to answer. But I would write that down. Direction, not intention, determines your destination. So Nathan here is really good at asking the right questions and analyzing based on where somebody says they want to go. I want a super profitable sales team that earns me $1 million in net income after all my expenses a year. And then Nathan would follow that up with, well, why do you want that? What's that? Why that? Why not something else? And then that really clarifies the vision. And then he asks a few more questions, and it really determines whether you are on a pathway to achieving that. And Nathan, what we see with most people that we have this conversation with, sadly, they're not.
Yes, agreed.
So we're going to fix that. That's why we do these meetings. All right. So now, Cheryl, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay. So Cheryl, what do you do here with Craig Proctor system?
Okay. Well, my job is to relay pretty much all of Todd's information to you guys. So to get you to show up, I have KPIs that he gives me, and he says, okay, I need the members to show up. Well, I think I did pretty good today, Todd. What do you think?
Yes. Everybody's here today because of Cheryl. She basically spent her time, energy, and resources to promote today's topic to Craig Proctor system coaching members that we had a short list of, and congratulations, you guys made that. All right. So if you're unfamiliar with me, like I make some appearances on marketing clinics here and there and do some things like that. But make no mistake about it, Craig asked me 2003 to help him invent and roll out and put together this upper part of the Craig Proctor system ladder, starting with platinum. And the reason we did that is because at that time in history, there were a lot of Craig Proctor system members that really wanted a super profitable sales team business. And the coaching program allowed people to get some basics of putting their business together with plan and system. But in terms of scaling it up to what we're talking about here, there was a demand for more help. Well, we got together, we rolled out platinum. And when we started platinum in 2003 and 2004, started on this one premise. All right. And you guys may want to write this down. But the premise was, if you could send a lead something that was so transformative that it would compel the lead to pick up the phone and call you and say, come list me. All right. would you implement or grab hold of or want that kind of system? And that was the question that we were asking ourselves. And primary was because we were generating at that time in history 1,000, 1,500 leads a month. I was from my own business. And that was the question, like, why do we need so many leads? Why can't we get more of the leads to actually become customers? Why does it require so many leads just to do 50, 60 sales a month? So once we asked that question, then we basically invented a solution. We called it the bomb, and it was transformative, so much so that we built an entire program around that, or launched it, called Platinum. And that created demand among Craig Proctor coaching members at the times. Like, I want that. I really want a business like that. All right. Well, I want you guys to think it through. So we're going to talk about scale today over the next hour or so, going from where you are right now to a different place. And in order to do that, I hope you understand that it probably requires different, not more of the same. Different. And that's going to be our big theme today, if you guys can grab hold of that. So different would be what? Okay, well, I'll give you a quick example, and then I'm going to ask you guys a question and let you pull it up. Different for me would be like, who's your ideal customer? Okay, so if all of you said, hey, type into the chat, who's your ideal customer, your target customer, your ideal customer? Because there's probably a difference, right, Nathan, in who an ideal customer is and who the real estate agent's actually targeting. Okay, 100%. Yeah. So, but type into the comments and chat here. Let us know who you believe is your ideal customer. Okay, for me, it's someone with a house to sell. That was my ideal customer. So Craig taught me early on, when I was a Craig Proctor system member, that you completely align your people, your processes, your promotion, and your profit model. You align it all towards your ideal customer. In this case, your ideal customer becomes your target customer. So let's pause there. How many of you have complete alignment in your entire enterprise to totally attract your ideal customer? So when we ask coaching members this question, what it reveals is they're running ads and doing marketing and engaged in things that totally do not attract their ideal customer. Like, many of you are running ads, for example, right now, to not attract your ideal customer. You're just looking for a lead. So we immediately have an issue there on direction. Your intention is to get more listings or totally focus on having more seller business, but the direction is headed in the opposite direction. We're just trying to get leads. And it's like, well, if you'll go back and look at coaching session number 2, it says identifying your target market and your USP is critical for your success as a real estate agent. So when people upgrade from coaching to Platinum, the first thing we do is totally focus 100% on your ideal customer. And for Platinum members, Titanium and Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty kind of says it all, right? The target customer is someone with a house to sell, period. We don't talk about generating buyers and all that kind of stuff, because they come once you have sellers. When you have an overflow of sellers, you get more buyers and you know what to do with. So anyway, so that gives you an example of what I mean by intention and direction. Doing something different, okay, is typically the change that's necessary to achieve the most results that you want. You just got to be open to it. You have to be a good leader and self-aware to be able to look at where your business is on any given day and have the wherewithal to say, I'm just not getting, quote, what I want. So what am I going to do about it? Right? That's it. But many real estate agents don't do that. They're just trying to get a lead. They just keep running around like on a hamster wheel. We don't want that for any of you. So we're going to change that today. All right. So good. So that kind of sets us up today. Now, I'm going to ask you guys a question. I hope you'll answer it. Okay. So right here on the screen, I'm going to ask you guys a question. How many of you want a real estate sales team business that earns you, I like that word, yearns, that earns you a high 6, 7-figure income? High 6 to 7-figure income. The business totally works without your constant involvement. That's the definition of a business, right? One that works without you all the time. So you kind of got to come to an agreement of what the definition of a business is. So real estate agents think they have a business, okay? But the reality is if it depends on you, that's the definition of a job, not a business. So we have to come to an agreement on what that is. And if a business doesn't depend on you, okay, then it's more likely to be a business, which means you're probably automatically going to be making more money, okay, in it. So we've launched a poll here for you. And the question's pretty simple. I want to know where you stand right now on this question. Do you even want what it is that we offer? Okay, which is a super profitable real estate sales team business. It earns you a high 6 to 7 figure income, and it works functionally, not dysfunctionally, but functionally. It makes your life better. And only a business can really do that. Okay, no real job can. Okay, so if that's something that you really, really want, then I want you to poll yes now. If that's not what you want, that does not align with what you want, go ahead and poll yes now. No now, but I want to know. So thank you for taking the poll there, but I'm going to recast the question again before we close the poll. How many of you want a real estate sales team business that earns you a high 6 to 7 figure income? It works without your constant involvement. If the answer is yes, type yes. If the answer is no, type no. And we appreciate you doing that. Okay. We can end that poll. Thank you, Cheryl, for launching that poll. All right. Now, what's really interesting is some of you didn't answer it at all. Why is that? Is that I don't know. Are you not paying attention? Okay. All right. Well, look, the reason I'm asking you guys this question before we look at any details of information that we want you to have today is because you've got to determine what it is you most want in life. And your business or your job or your career, whatever it is your vehicle to pretty much achieve that, because it produces either the freedom that you want, or you become enslaved to it and you never really achieve what you want. Your business is you're going to be what do you want to call it? It's going to allow you to achieve what you want, i.e. freedom. So it's going to free you, or it's going to enslave you. All right. So my discovery, Nathan, is that, boy, it sure was great to have, quote, freedom, the pathway to achieve what I want when I wanted it. And I couldn't do that as a solo real estate agent because customers would call up and say, we want to go look at a house. Kid's got a ball game. What am I going to do? Am I going to go show houses? I'm going to go to the kid's ball game, right? So the business is the thing that frees you. So that's the reason you've got to have a clear head on what you most want.
No
question. Now, Nathan, when you're working with coaching members, platinum members, especially when you're working, that's a starting point, right? It's like starting point is, what do you most want?
True? Yeah. What do you want? Like first thing we do is we basically take a good look at your business and say, okay, you're here today. What are you looking at, to do in the next year, 2 years, 3 years? Let's map it out. Let's get some goals set. So that way we can really see where you guys want to go. I can't help anyone get where they want to go if they have no idea where they want to go. That's impossible. So if you don't know you want to go, to San Diego, California, it's going to be really hard for me to be able to get you there. So we got to first map it out. What does that look like? It's the first starting place we got to get to so we can help you get there.
All right, good. So I think that's the starting point for everyone is what is your vision for your future? Even when you're like down and out, flat broke, let me give you guys a little bit of my story and it might help you. Okay. When I was 19 years old, I dropped out of college. So I was a college dropout. And I asked my grandmother to loan me $40,000 to buy a Primo's Pizza franchise. That was the name of it. And the reason was because I worked at one and I thought that it would be a good career move. Okay. So she agreed. So there you have it. I start this Primo's business on loaned money from my grandmother and I go to work. Well, 3 years later, there was no business. So I end up owing my grandmother $40,000 plus all kinds of other debt and problems that I had created over that time frame. So much so I couldn't afford to live in my home. So I had to sell my house. and move into my father-in-law's basement. So that's where I started, pretty much bankrupt, homeless. If it wasn't for my father-in-law, I just got married. So I did what a lot of people do in life when things don't work out so well. I got my real estate license. All right. And that's kind of where it started. So failure, well, I was experiencing it, couldn't really get any lower than the basement of your father-in-law's house. Right. So I had to go to work and figure out how to do this. And my idea was, okay, I need to go find someone who has this already figured out. In other words, who's doing what it is I most want to accomplish? Most, not somewhat what I want, but most want to accomplish. And that's how I ended up with Craig Proctor. See, everybody at my real estate office there, when I got into real estate at the RE/MAX office, dude, they were making $100,000, a couple of people, some of them are maybe doing slightly better, most of them a lot less. So is that what I most wanted to achieve? And this is where real estate agents typically fail, is they're not associating in learning from and teaming up with, no matter what the price is. They're just not doing. They're settling for people that are just a little bit ahead of them. Okay. Anyway, I want you to think this through. In 1990, there were essentially nobody, making $1 million or more selling real estate in 1990, which is when I got into it. Zero. There were two people in North America, one in the United States and one in Canada. The one in Canada was the number one real estate agent in the world at that time. His name was Craig Proctor. The guy in the United States was one of Craig's proteges. His name was Marshall in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I kind of got in early and nuzzled my way up to the very top, not number 2, not number 3, not number 10, not number 1 in my office, but number 1 in the world, and just connected my wagon there and learned every detail about it. And what I discovered was that pretty much what everyone else was doing in real estate was wrong. And what Craig was doing was the complete opposite. Okay. So I said, look, if I'm going to do what everybody else is doing in real estate, I can expect to get what they get. If I do what Craig does, 100%, I end up with a business like that. And that's what I did. I made a decision to do that. It was a good move. Okay. I went on to make over about 10,000 home sales, $30+ million in real estate commissions, and became one of the top real estate sales teams in North America, top 20, according to the National Association of Realtors. So that's my story. You have one too. Okay. So, and your story is not done yet. We're just now writing it. So when we did the promo for today's session, I promised you guys some things. So you can look down here at those bottom 3 check boxes on the slide. We promised you that we would give you a complimentary VIP pass to attend the next Platinum Listings by Noon session. So the 4th Tuesday of every month, I host a webinar for all of the Platinum level members in the Craig Proctor system. And the only thing we talk about on that webinar is getting listings. We have over 40 ways to get listings in Platinum. Okay, that's already being done, copy and implement type systems and processes. And we just cherry pick one of them at the end of the month, 4th Tuesday of every month, and we zero in on it. And the concept is, if I could get Platinum members to implement just one marketing system a month to get listings, at the end of a year, they would have 12. So let me ask you, how many of you guys can implement just one system a month? Just one strategy system a month? And the answer is probably pretty good, especially if you've got some help. Okay, well, that's what we do. So we're going to give you a VIP pass to attend the next one. So to qualify for this, you got to stick with us till the end of the day. You're never rewarded for shortcuts and, jumping in and out, being distracted. No. We're going to zero in today, and we've carved out an hour and a half to help you guys. We will absolutely be done with this by 3:30. You guys can go back selling real estate. You got to stick with us till the end to get that pass. And I think you'll be very impressed with how we go about doing that. All right. We're also going to give you, quote, the volume breakdown analysis to a 7-figure income business. Okay. And Nathan, you're pretty good at that. Just describe to everybody what this volume breakdown is to a 7-figure income business? How's that work?
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to kind of go. I want to kind of start off from the beginning with it, because that's almost like the how you're going to end up achieving your goals. So I'll kind of kick it off in the beginning. So, we talked about goals in the beginning, and I was like, okay, what is it that you guys want to achieve? Well, the first thing we got to know is like what it is you guys want to achieve, but that's really the middle piece. The first thing we got to really know is like why you actually want to achieve it. So if you guys we had basically almost everyone say, with the exception of just a couple people, say that, yes, I want $1 million real estate business, but why do you guys want it? That's a really big piece. And, Simon Sinek wrote a book called Start With Why. It's a really good one. And it's like, okay, well, why do you guys actually want to achieve what you want to achieve? Because it's really easy to give up on a goal of $1 million. Like, you guys will give up on it tomorrow if it starts getting difficult. And the reason why you want the goal is because the number looks good. Oh, $1 million would be just a really cool number to earn. Well, once that gets tough to earn, guess what you guys will do? Give up on it. Now let's get a clear picture on why you guys actually want the goal. What is it that you really want? So we have to really be able to figure that piece out. Why do you guys want this goal? I want to be able to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to take vacations. I don't want to have to be in the trenches all the time. I want to be able to pass things along. Like, what is it? Like, why do you guys want that goal? Because if it's just because a good sounding number, you guys will give up on that quick. So we got to, when we're setting goals, why do you guys want the goals? Then it's like, okay, what are the goals that you guys want? Then this is the volume breakdown analysis, where we start talking about how you guys are actually going to achieve the goals. So now we basically can reverse engineer your math. So it's like, okay, you guys want $1 million in real estate. Let's reverse engineer it. So how many appointments do you guys need to, actually, I guess before that, how many leads do you guys need? Then it's like, okay, how many appointments do you guys need to set? How many of those appointments, what percentage is going to show up? Of the show up rate, what percentage is actually going to sign an agreement? And then of the percentage that's going to sign an agreement, what percentage is actually going to close out when you get them on a signed buyer agreement or signed listing agreement? How many are actually going to sign a purchase and sale agreement and actually deal will close, right? So we basically take that math, we reverse engineer it to how many appointments you guys need to set. And then it's like, okay, now we got it. We know the numbers we need to hit. Let's press play and let's make it happen. So that's basically our volume breakdown analysis. And I gave you a kind of a quick synopsis of it, but it's a little more detailed than what I just described. But to give you a brief overview, that's what it kind of looks like. Is that what you're looking for, Todd?
Yeah. So I think a lot of people don't really understand that. Is that it's just math. How many appointments need to be set today in order for me to achieve what I most want? So if you want to make $1 million in revenue over the next 12 months, it just comes down to how many appointments need to be set today to achieve that. And the appointments pretty much is the catalyst in your business. You guys want to write this down. You're a real estate company that generates appointments for real estate agents. Write that one down. You're a real estate company that generates appointments for real estate agents. That's what your business is. That's the Craig Proctor system model in the very beginning. See, most real estate agents, they don't generate appointments. The appointments happen to them. It's like a referral or, some call in from a friend or family member. No appointment was generated. Okay. So, but in order to have appointments, it's going to require, quote, lead generation. The lead generation that we engage in with Platinum members is focused on getting people with a house to sell, move up buyers and things like that. So that's all the marketing that we talk about. We don't talk about doing marketing to get buyers. We just talk about marketing to get sellers. And most of those seller prospects come with a house to come with going and buying another house. So it ends up being multiple transactions. So that's a pretty cool thing. So but again, write this down. Your business is a business, or should be a business that generates appointments for real estate agents. And once you have that in mind, it's like, okay, I want to make $1 million over the next year. How many appointments do I need to book today? And if you're unfamiliar with your conversion numbers throughout the process, or worse, like Nathan said, you base your conversion numbers on converting referrals, then you're going to totally underestimate the number of appointments that you got to have to, quote, make your $1 million in income. Okay. So we apply, or Nathan applies this metric, like a 50% conversion rule. And that allows you to increase the activities in your business, overdo it on the marketing. And if you just better your 50% conversion, you and your team, you end up with 1.5, 2 million, maybe even 3 million in revenue like that. So that's how we're able to create so many successful 7-figure income earners when people upgrade to platinum and move forward like that. But yep, volume breakdown is a biggie. The other thing on the list here that we're going to give you just for sticking with us today is this platinum P&L model. Platinum P&L model. I pulled that up and I thought I'd show it to you guys. Okay, let me show you where this is though. So I went to the coaching site. Okay, and I went to Platinum New Member Orientation Materials, just for reference. You can see there's that volume breakdown analysis that we're going to send you that Nathan talked about. In this Platinum Business Plan, this PDF right here, which is a $4 million gross commission income business plan that we give all new Platinum members, and we work from that to achieve a business like that, okay? In that plan is this financial model, and it looks like this, okay? So this financial model is pretty much the starting point right after you get your brain around where you want your business to go, i.e. your vision. Because the financial model of the business is what's missing for most real estate agents' businesses. They don't have a financial model. So with Platinum members, we grab this financial model that we created, 20 years ago, that we've used as the basics of putting a business in place. So financially, you end up where you want to be. And now we don't have time to explain this today. That's what we do in Platinum, but we are going to give it to you. So Cheryl's got a list of everybody who showed up today, and we're going to make sure that you get all 3 of those things that we promised you. Okay. All right. So to recap, okay, you're going to get the business, you're going to get the P&L model that we talked about. So we're going to make sure you guys get that. We're going to make sure that you get the VIP pass to sit in on the next Platinum session having to do with getting listings. And we want you to have the P&L model as well. I'll pull up that P&L model again. We could spend a minute or two on that. So just to break it down, right, Nathan, there's the income bucket, all sources of income. And as you progress here with Craig Proctor's system, when you for example, when you upgrade from coaching to Platts, one of the things on our list is to increase the amount of money that you make per transaction. My belief is all of you are underpaid. You deserve a pay raise. And if you don't believe that, then we help you establish more value so you can come to terms with getting paid more money. But write this down. There are only 3 ways for you to grow your business. Write them down right now. Only 3 ways for you to grow your business. And we need to make sure all of these happen simultaneously. Okay. So when we get together at the Platinum level, everything we do is about having all 3 of these things happen simultaneously. That's increasing transactions, increasing the amount of money that you make per transaction, and increasing the number of times people come back and buy from you. Okay. So everybody understands increasing transactions. You do that by generating an overflow of business, delegating the overflow out to other people, and with no end in sight. So everybody understands that. But what good is it to increase the number of transactions if income per transaction is trending downward, as it is for most people in real estate? It's not trending downward for Craig Proctor Platinum, Titanium, and Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty members. Their incomes, one more time, per transaction is not trending downward. It's going the opposite way. Their fees are going up. These are some of the highest paid real estate professionals in the world as a percentage of sale. And we want you to be. We don't operate with discounts. We don't talk about any stuff. That's not what we do here. We talk about you becoming the highest paid real estate professional in your marketplace because you're, quote, more than worth it, i.e. via value stacking. Okay, so increase transactions, increasing the number of times people come back and buy from you. That's pretty simple. You have to sell them something different than a primary home. So when people move from like Platinum and to Titanium and Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, that ladder that we looked at a minute ago, there's a big system on having every single customer that you sell a home to buy 1 additional home from you a year for the next 20 years. Nathan, what do we call that?
I'm sorry. Buy 1 home every 20 years?
Yeah, buy 1 home a year for the next 20 years What would that make you?
Yeah, you're an investor.
You got it. You become a real estate investor. So you're going to help your
God, I'm a little slow over here, T-Dog.
No. We're just going to help the customers get rich. So they become lifetime customers. So that's all part of this ladder. And that's what I mean. So each move up the ladder is different than where you previously. It's not more of the same. It's different. It's a different move. It's like, I can't describe, I don't have any other way to describe it. It's different. And that's what you need, because your direction determines your destination. And if you want a different destination, you have to go in a different direction. So that's something for you guys to know. So we're going to make sure you have all those, and you guys can get a good preview into that. So you got your income bucket, you got your cost of sales, and you have your investments, marketing, labor, operations, and rent. And at the end of this financial model, you're left with a 30% net income. Now, remember, this is based on other people's work. So if you're not selling any real estate personally, but you've got other people doing it, you need to end up with a profit, because that profit replaces you having to be in the business as a salesperson. So if your goal is to have a business, not a job, but a business, again, a business means you do not have to be involved in the sales process. If that's something you want, that's what we do at the platinum level. And you guys need to be very, very clear on it. So now you're seeing and hearing things, I think, that maybe you didn't know were part of what we do. So I'm happy to present that to you. As a matter of fact, we probably should give everybody the opportunity to get additional information. So before we dive in a little bit deeper here and share another 3 or 4 things with you on that checklist that we showed you, we need to give you a link here so that you can learn more. Some of you should have already upgraded in the Craig Proctor System ladder. You want a business that works without your involvement. You really want that. And you understand direction and intention. You get all that. You should have already done it, because again, when you upgrade, it gets easier, not harder. It gets easier. That's what upgrading is all about. Okay. No one wants to upgrade and make their life harder or get worse. So it's all about getting easier. So if you would like a free one-on-one cut through the crap and build a super profitable sales team, call. That's free. We do this one time for coaching level members, okay, with no obligation other than we're here to help, but that's what we're going to do. So read that middle line right there. Cut through the crap and build a super profitable sales team. So we want to invest about an hour with you. If you want, you can request this. No obligation. We offer it to coaching level members so you can see what's different, how it works, where you are, where you really want to go, and what needs to change for you to achieve it. That's the only way to cut through the crap. All right. That's richagentsystem.com if you would like to take advantage of that opportunity. Now, for reference, not everyone can get into platinum. So just make sure we're really clear on that. You've got to be in the top 5% of the income earners in the United States and Canada to gain admission or even have a chance at being accepted into platinum. Now, if you don't know what a top 5% income earner is, let me share that with you guys right now. See if you're in the club or not. Top 5% is about $8,000 a month in revenue or more. Okay. So if you earn around $8,000 a month or more, okay, in income, that's going to put you pretty close to $100,000. Okay. So somewhere between $80,000 and $100,000 a year in income puts you in the top 5% of income earners in real estate. Congratulations. Those people we will accept into platinum, but that's the minimum standard, because our job is to help those people scale up to a super profitable sales team business like that through plan and system that you don't have right now. Okay. So just want to make sure that, because sometimes, Nathan, I know some people, they get a little bit, they get mad at us that we won't let them upgrade into platinum. And it's simply because I don't want to say you're not ready. You may very well be ready mentally, but physically you don't have the things to build on. So,
well, yeah, I mean, I'll give you a good example. Like one of the big things that we talk about in platinum is like, okay, you have business. How do you leverage that business to get more business?
Good point.
If you don't have the business, like it's really hard to leverage your listing to get more listings if you don't have a listing. it's really hard to leverage your buyers to get more listings if you don't have buyers, right, Todd? Like we got to have some form of business in order to create more business. So we do a lot of that in Platinum. That's duplication, right? Like we talk about, hey, how can you get more listings with the listing you got right now?
Okay. So there you go. So if you guys want to cut through the crap and build a super profitable sales team, we got a free consult and a call. You can jump on that at richagentsystem.com. That's our contact information there at the Craig Proctor System Platinum headquarters as well. Got a phone number, got an email address. Take advantage of us. We're here to help you. All right. Everyone wants to sell more homes and make more money. Just about every person wants to do that. Okay. But growing a business like that is a bit complicated. Would you agree? Like it's just not happening just because you want it to, right? So that means there's a little more complex and complexities involved. Like Nathan said, most real estate agents don't even use the business they get to get more. That's a shame. Okay. Because it's not a norm and standard in real estate. So unless you knew about that, how else would you know to do it? So it is a bit more complex, and all of us want to get it right. And we exist to help. One more time, we exist to help you. So take advantage of it. richagentsystem.com. We'll jump on a one-on-one consult with you and go from there. All right. Now, let's talk about your organization real fast. Okay. Where are you and where you want to go? How do our top Craig Proctor System members become top Craig Proctor System members? All right. So let's talk about that briefly, and you guys can see where you are right now. This is what I call a small team organizational chart. Okay. This is where every real estate agent with the desire or intention to become a super profitable sales team business starts. Okay. Most people don't start here though. They languish for too long as a solo. But in order to get to 50 or 60 sales a year, in order to get to that point, you need help. So getting the right person in your organization to help you implement is paramount. And that's one of the first places we start with new Platinum members. If you do not have a key person in your organization, quote, helping you implement, then how are you going to get things implemented? So we show you how to find, how to recruit, hire, and train that key person. Now, most real estate agents don't do this, Nathan, right? They don't start there. Where they start is getting an assistant that they basically tell what to do, or a VA that they tell what to do, or a VA that helps them with transactions, or some recurring marketing stuff. That's not what we're talking about here. Your number one challenge, tell me if I'm wrong, your number one issue is implementation. So if your number one issue is implementation, doesn't it make sense that you need to solve that issue of implementation? Otherwise, the business doesn't grow. And most people say, well, I can't afford someone like that. And I would say, no. You can't afford not to get them. What you need is to know how to get them and have other people pay for it. And that's what we do with Platinum members. You will not, let me repeat, and I'm being straight up with you. You will not scale up to a super profitable sales team business until we understand that it requires using other people's money to do it. Otherwise, you're operating on your own cash flow, and if you don't have any cash flow or very little of it, you're going to make those investments in your business, right? So, right, that's the key of it. Elon Musk, he started this company called Tesla. Did you guys know when he started Tesla, he went to the federal government and asked them for $500 million? Right. And you know what the government said? Here. So now what does he do with the $500 million? He hires people in infrastructure, and he becomes the richest guy on the planet within 10 years. That is unheard of in history, by the way. It normally takes a long time to become the richest man on the planet. Most people never achieve it. He does it like that by using other people's money. Now, I'm not saying go out and borrow money, but we show you how to, quote, use other people's money to scale up your business much faster than you could have ever imagined. And without that concept, I don't know how you do it. So, all right. So if you like that, Nathan gets into that with you on that cut through the crap and build a sellable business asset call. This is where we want you to be, okay, but this is not where we want you to stay. Let me repeat, this is where we want you to be, but this is not where we want you to stay as a Craig Proctor System Platinum member. I don't work with coaching members per se. My job with Craig is to work with people that upgrade to Platinum and beyond. That's where we spend our time. energy and resources, me personally and my team here, Nathan, Cheryl, Chase, and the rest of us. And this is where we want to get people, because from here, you can do just about anything. You've proven duplication and replication, and you can scale up. Okay. So this will get you into the high 6-figure, 7-figure income, doing somewhere around 100 sales a year. You're going to see and discover that, how many homes could I sell if it didn't really depend on me? And once you have that discovery, sky's the limit for you. And you can do amazing things like your millionaire agent business organizational chart. Okay. And probably what this looks like over here is in the ISA bucket and the OSA bucket, you have multiples of people. For example, in the Platinum Business Plan, it calls for 3 ISAs and 15 OSAs. And when you get to 3 ISAs and 15 OSAs, because it's 1 ISA for about every 5 OSAs, assuming you've mastered the basics in Platinum of target marketing and generating your ideal customer, people with a house to sell. Okay, it's the first thing we do with Platinum members. When you master that, you can easily produce overflow. Okay, and 3 ISAs and 15 OSAs pretty much guarantees you a $4 million or more business in revenue. It just guarantees it. That's going to net you out at well over $1 million in income. Okay, so it's predictable. So if you don't like the results that you're getting right now, they're quote unpredictable, you're not in the place that you want right now, then I'm going to encourage you, like, yeah, you want to know there's a whole new world out there, and do what I did when I was pretty much a kid, is I just pestered Craig to discover what that world was. And I was willing to pay the price to get into the next room to discover all the details around it. Now, this organizational chart could very well be many of your future. There's no reason for it not to be. This is essentially a 1,000 to 10,000 real estate transaction business. And we have people doing that. Okay. This is a business that's sellable, a sellable business asset. But again, it's different than how you do business. And you can see, like, just from the organization chart, this may be different than how you do business. This may be different than how you do business. So hopefully you guys are getting the overall theme today, that in order to achieve what you ultimately want, it requires doing things, quote, differently, right? This is never about more of the same. Okay. Every move in life is different. Like, how should I say this, Nathan? When I married my wife, that was different than not having one, and it made my life better. It was more fun than when I was a solo guy. Okay. And as your kids come along, that made my life better, more interesting. And that was different than before I have kids. So we can use life examples, but business works the same way. All right. So in order to achieve ultimately what you want, it does require different. Nathan?
Yeah. Have you ever been have you ever made a decision that like completely changed your life that you weren't nervous about before making the decision? Ever. And I tell people that all the time. Like, you're nervous about 100% of the decisions you always make if it's a life-changing decision. I've never been like, oh, wow, that changed my life, and I wasn't nervous about that decision at all. It's like, I can't even think of one. It's like everything is kind of, you get a little nervous.
Yeah, anxious, nervous, the butterflies. That means it must be knocking on opportunity's door.
And one other thing I know on those slides, Todd, I've had a couple people, when I show them those slides, they're like, well, hey, Nathan, I'm not at 50 transactions yet. I'm not going to get an unlicensed person. I'm not at 50 transactions yet. I'm like, no. It's like the opposite. It's like, if you want to get to 50 transactions, you better go get that unlicensed person, like assistant, like now, like today. Like, if you want to get to 100, like, you're never going to get to 50 without that. Like, it's going to be really hard. You're going to be wanting to pull your hair out doing, that many transactions without someone helping you out. You think you're going to get to 100 transactions without, a couple OSAs and an unlicensed, like, it's not going to happen. Like, so if you guys want to basically build that thing out, you better go get the things in place in order to get where you want to go.
My thought is that I think most people want to do that. And if they knew how, they probably would have already done it.
100%.
Yeah. So that's that was the conclusion I came to. But I don't want people to have to come to the conclusion like I did, where you're in your father-in-law's basement and bankrupt. And it's like, my way ain't working. What I think is not the way to do it. That was getting me what I was getting. So my conclusion was, I got to do it a different way, but I don't know what the different way is. You know, if I knew it, I would already be doing it. So that's when I made a decision, like, to basically get into a different room with different people and learning different things. And that's how I got to, you know, like we talked about, it's how I got here really, really fast at a young age. I made my first $1 million in commissions the year my first kid was born. Her name is Morgan. She's 26 years old today. So that was when I hit my first $1 million in income from real estate. And my average selling price was $126,000 then. So that's a long time ago. And that was a lot of transactions, you know, and so I know if I could do it, like anybody can, but you do need plan and system to be able to achieve it and pull it off. So we started out today by just getting you focused on the direction. Remember, direction, not intention, but direction determines your destination. And the direction that we want for you is what we've laid out here. We want you to have a super profitable sales team business. So everything that we do, like at Platinum and, you know, and above, is about that. We don't talk about anything else other than getting you to a point of having a business that works without your constant involvement, which automatically earns you a lot of money. So if you like that, you know, then you're in the right place with us today. So let me ask you guys another question. What is the one thing that you could change that would change everything else? So a lot of people sitting here today can change things, and it would change everything else that we did, but we sort of make decisions to put it off or stall or not do it altogether. But what is the one thing you could change that would change everything else for you? What is it? All right. Many of us are staring around the face of enormous opportunities. I give you one example for me. When I walked into my broker's office when I was 22 years old, and I was complaining about how crappy this business was and living in my father-in-law's basement and struggling. And I said, and he said, well, what's your point, Todd? And I says, well, I really thought I could make over $1 million a year selling real estate. And then my broker laughed at me, Nathan. He just laughed right in my face when I said that. He goes, no one does that. And he was true. It was right. And there was not a soul in the state of Georgia that was doing anything close to that at that moment in history. There was only 2 people in North America that did it. You know, number one was Craig. So when I said that and he laughed at me, I had 2 choices to make. I could say he's probably right. Or I could say, but there's someone doing it, which is what I did. I pointed out to the broker that someone was doing that. And he says, well, maybe you should go talk to him then. So I was like, you know what? I can do that. And that's what I did. So that changed everything else for me. It was that decision. Okay. Another decision, I fully implemented the guaranteed sell program when I couldn't afford to buy any house other than, let alone my own. I implemented that, changed everything else. All right. I instantly saw I needed help. Like, I can't get these things implemented because I'm busy with customers. I hired someone without having any closings on the book. That changed everything. So you guys get it. So there's something you could probably do in your business right now, a decision that you can make that will change everything else. If you are unclear what that is, you need help getting to that answer. Okay. So I'm going to encourage you, please, please, please take advantage of the opportunity to talk further with us and let us help you determine what that one thing is. Give us a shot. I guarantee you that we can help you identify what the one thing is that can change everything else. All right. And trust me, there's always one thing. All right. So I'm going to ask you guys another question. Okay. We've been talking a little bit about who we are and what we do and how we think, what we spend our time on, you know, with Craig Proctor system members there at that platinum level. I'm going to ask you guys a straight up question. So if I could get your attention, just to answer it honestly for me, if you can. The question is if upgrading to platinum could be far more lucrative and beneficial to you personally, professionally, and financially, would you be open to taking a deeper look at it? Okay. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to throw that up on the screen as a poll. All right. And I'm going to ask you to just answer this question honestly for me. And I'm going to share the results with Craig Proctor. If upgrading to platinum could be far more lucrative than anything you're doing right now, and beneficial to you personally, professionally, and financially, would you be open to taking a look at it? Okay. It's a very simple question, and answer honestly. And I really appreciate you guys answering that question. I'm going to send the results to Craig. Okay. And that'll give him some feedback as well. All right. And Nathan and I appreciate you doing that. So I'll leave that poll open for about another 30 seconds. Okay. So take a look at the questionnaire. If upgrading to platinum could be far more lucrative and beneficial to you personally, professionally, and financially, would you be open to taking a look at it? Yes or no? Awesome. Okay, well, I appreciate you guys taking the poll. It means a lot. All right, I'm going to end the poll now. Thank you very much. Okay, so you're in coaching. Congratulations. I just think that's the coolest thing in the world, that you're out there in the real estate industry and you decide you want to sell more homes and make more money, that whatever you're doing right now in your present circumstance is not getting you to where you want to be. So somehow you end up with Craig Proctor's system, respond to some ad or something. And you end up there and you check it out and you actually invest some of your own hard-earned money, maybe even money you haven't even earned yet, into getting here. And to me, that says a lot about you personally. That means that you're not like the majority of real estate people are. You would think, right, Nathan, that the majority of real estate agents want to sell more homes and make more money and are willing to do something about it, but it's not true. Yes. The majority of them are not willing to do anything about it. So
it probably was the one thing that blew me away the most when you brought me into this almost 6 years ago now. About 3 or 4 months, it'll be 6 years ago, Todd. Yeah, pretty shocking. Like, I was like, wow, holy cow. I thought everyone wanted success or more. They would love to be able to go sell more houses or do more, be able to, and I was like, wow, that is not the majority. And that really took me back. I was very surprised by that. So, there's a reason why, people have a cap on what they're really willing to do. And that was very shocking. And what an opportunity that is for all of you guys who want to go do more.
Yeah. I think it's just amazing. I would love to give all of you guys a high five right now. All right. So, so one of the questions that I get, and if I get a chance to answer it, I will. And one of the questions I get most often from coaching level members that start to discover there's a whole nother universe in the Craig Proctor system, and they may very well be missing out on it. And then they're faced with an opportunity to take advantage of it, like many of you are that, quote, are qualified or meet the qualifications to be in platinum. One of the questions I get, sometimes is, well, I don't know if I've implemented all the basics of Craig Proctor's system yet. So I'm like, okay, well, what are they? Like, what is the first thing or the basics that you should sort of have implemented in your business here in order to build on it or move to the next level or upgrade to platinum? Like, what are they? All right. I'm going to share them with you guys right now. Okay. The first one is the words that come out of your mouth. So if you jumped into Craig Proctor's system and you downloaded the universal, quote, follow-up script, if you have that, then you've already recognized that there are 4 offers on the follow-up script. 4. Okay. And your job is to know what those 4 offers are and to understand that you're in the sales and the marketing business. And the only way to get customers and turn them into appointments, because remember, you're a real estate company that generates appointments for agents. The only way to do that is to make offers. And you can screw up a lot of stuff in your business. Trust me, you can screw up a lot of things, but you know what you can't screw up, Nathan? The offers. All right. So that's first bullet point on the basics of coaching. You need that follow-up script, and you need to know there's 4 offers on it, and you should be able to articulate those, you or your people, okay, via on the phone or texting or whatever it is. So do you have the follow-up script? Good. Check that box. That's the basics, all right? But maybe I presented it to you a different way than you heard before, okay? But I'm going to show you even a different way here in a moment. The next bullet point would be the presentations. I remember with being with Catherine in a coaching member breakout at a conference several years back. And she polled the room. And how many of you guys are using the listing and buyer presentations when meeting with buyers and sellers? And a lot of coaching members didn't raise their hand. You know, they didn't have it, quote, implemented. And she was shocked and indignant to it, like, what in the world is going on with these people? And so we were talking about it later, and I said, you know what I think? I think that, quote, the member doesn't understand what the presentation is even for. Okay. So I'm going to tell you guys what your presentation is for. Okay. Whatever you think, the presentation is to create an expectation for your prospect. You create an expectation. So when you book a listing or buyer appointment and you go on the appointment, when you show up to the appointment, trust me, the prospect has an expectation in their mind. So let's say it's a referral. Okay. The referral's expectation is very low. They've already pre-sold on you because they were referred. So when you show up to the meeting from your position, do you need a presentation to get the business? Do you need our listing or buyer presentation at the coaching level? Because they're different at every level. But at the coaching level, the listing and buyer presentations, do you need it to get the business if it's a referral? And the answer is no. You don't need it to get the business. So if your paradigm or frame of reference is a presentation is there to, quote, get you the business, you're not going to use it because you're going to get the business anyway. You can show up and smile and, you know, talk to them and backslap and high five and have them sign the freaking agreements. Okay. That's not the purpose of the presentation. The presentation is an orientation. Write that down. Your presentation is an orientation of what people are going to, quote, expect in doing business with you. So when I showed up at people that were referred to me and I go through my, quote, listing presentation, the response that I would get from those people that refer to me is like, wow, whoa, Todd, I had no idea. I didn't know that you guys did all that. That's amazing. So they had a previous expectation. Now I've exceeded their expectation. And when you exceed people's expectations, what do you get? Their business. But I'm going to get the business anyway. The business I most want is referrals. So I do the presentation to get referrals, but I can't get referrals unless they're a customer. And the only way I can get referrals is if I exceed their expectations. So if you knew that a presentation elevated the opportunity for you guys to get referrals, quote, 5-star reviews and referrals, that's ultimately what we want. 5-star review and referrals, that's the real currency in a business, then you would use the presentation. So a lot of people don't understand that, but let me ask you, do you have the presentations? That's the basics of the Craig Proctor coaching level. Next bullet point, use of a performance guarantee. A performance guarantee, as you've learned, are things like, if you're not happy with my service, you could cancel at any time. That's a performance guarantee. Your home sold at your price or I'll pay you the difference. That's a performance guarantee. Your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. That's a performance guarantee. I don't care, Nathan, we don't really care what performance guarantee you are using in your business as long as you, quote, understand what they are, because your performance guarantees will change depending on who your target customer is and the dynamics of the marketplace. And you got to know how to do this, right? That's why when people upgrade to platinum, we zero in on the ultimate performance guarantee, which is your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. And we teach all platinum members how to run that program regardless of your income level and regardless of your resources. So that, remember, it's not a guaranteed buy program. It's about guaranteeing the sell of it. And you'll sell every single listing under that guarantee. But that's number 3, is use of a performance guarantee. Number 4, direct response marketing. So if you're running an ad and getting a response, then congratulations. That's the basics of the Craig Proctor system. Okay. Those 4 things right there: follow-up script, presentation, performance guarantee, and running an ad. Okay. And getting a response. Got to get a response. So if you're running ads and getting a response, congratulations, you're getting feedback. The response may be good. The response may suck. I don't care. But if you know how to run an ad and get a response, do you know how many real estate agents, Nathan, in real estate don't know how to run an ad and let alone get a response from it?
A lot of...
Right. Almost all of them. So this forms a foundation that you get to build on. So a lot of coaching members don't even know that. They're like, well, I'm already doing all that. I know I got the follow-up script. I have the presentations. I'm using a performance guarantee, sometimes, or at least I know what they are. And I am running ads and getting a response, not the kind I want or whatever. It's like, well, great. Congratulations. That's the basics. Now what? Now what? All right. Well, let's do a little comparison. Okay. So we've already talked about, this quote transformation, and that's the word I want you to write down. Transformation. All right. Our job is to transform your real estate business into a millionaire agent team, one that's so good it works without your involvement. That is our mission for people that, quote, we get involved with in the Craig Proctor system. So the only thing I know to share with you are the things that we do there. And that's what I'm doing on today's session, me and Nathan and Cheryl. We're just sharing with you the things we do there at that level so that you can learn and see that there's other things going on, compare them to what you're doing right now, and that will allow you to make decisions about your next step or your future, all right? So we do all this through plan and system. When you got into coaching, we gave you this 1-hour business plan that you filled in the blanks on. Type into the comments and chat if you guys have filled in the blanks on your 1-hour business plan. All right. When you get into platinum, we give you a plan and the blanks are already filled in. So that's different. A plan where you fill in the blanks and a plan where you don't fill in the blanks, right? So once you fill in the blanks of a business plan, number one, you understand a business plan. You had to think it through. And we like that. That's a good first step. But when you upgrade to platinum, we're going to just hand you the plan. It's a plan for a millionaire agent sales team business. And if you can copy and implement that plan, you're going to do pretty good because it's just a plan of systems. All right. You don't have this plan now. Okay. And then we help you implement that plan. So that's a good comparison there. All of this powers your transformation. Okay. And you need something to power a transformation. Okay. Now, let's look at the basics of what you're doing in coaching to sort of how it compares to the difference that you might be doing at the next level, like the follow-up script. So we, Todd, Nathan, my team, we train your team. We train your team. We're training you, but we're training your team now on how to use the follow-up script to text and message to convert leads to come get me's. We already know that the trend is using text and messenger. So of course, we're going to zero in on that specifically with your people. Because if you can text and message people to an appointment, guess what? You can do it all day long on the telephone, all right? The presentations now that you understand, it's really an orientation of what people get from doing business with you, and you elevate the expectations. Then we focus on lifetime customer activity. So, and we do this with video, proof of claims, worthy calls, materials, and it's all about you getting a pay raise, including getting paid upfront. Nathan, talk about the upfront piece real fast and why this is important for everyone here.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, this is one of the most important things. First off, now you guys are getting paid upfront. Here's the big reason why you guys want people to pay you right out of the gate. Well, one, now they're actually invested in the process. Whenever someone actually hands and exchanges money, all of a sudden, someone starts taking it a lot more serious. So I want you guys to imagine this. You guys are scaling out your business a little bit more. It's getting a little bit bigger. You guys now have a few outside sales agents and, they're getting signed buyer's agreements, but they're not closing the deal out. Well, if you ended up getting $597 up front, it would be the other way around. The buyers would be calling the agent hey, I need to go see houses. I want to go hey, let's make this happen. Let's go over here. And now you have some more predictable cash flow as well. So now you guys have a more predictable cash flow. And on top of that, you have the buyers chasing you guys down, not the other way around. So a couple of reasons why you want to be able to get this thing implemented and running as fast as possible.
Yeah, 100% of our upper level Craig Proctor system members get a portion of their income on the front end. California, parts of Canada, and everywhere else in the United States, there's a way to do it. And we're not just talking about, taking prepaid commissions. That's not what we do here. Okay. And cost is only a factor in the absence of value. So we're insistent on value stacking, overwhelming the customer with value. They give you a portion of your income on the front end. Now you're able to operate with additional cash flow that you have before. You make faster investments into your business. That makes perfect sense to everybody. So that's a pretty profound difference right there, just in the presentations from Coaching the Platinum. Let's look at the next bullet point. All right, we talked about performance guarantees. In Platinum, the performance guarantee becomes the brand. So most real estate agents think they're the brand when you get into real estate. Like, I'm the brand. And the answer is no, it's not. No, you're not. Your real estate brokerage is the brand. And the law says it has to be. And if you don't promote it that way, they're going to fine you. And you guys know all that. So no matter how much you try to be the brand, you're always faced with where your license is as the brand. And newsflash, you and where you have your license is not a direct benefit that the customer can understand, especially your ideal customer. So if your ideal customer is someone with a house to sell, and my name is Todd Walters, how's the customer know how they're going to get what they ultimately want just because my name is Todd Walters? Do you guys understand that? So same thing if I'm at RE/MAX, which is where I was for 15 years of my real estate career. All right. I want you guys to understand, I'm a RE/MAX. I'm in the top 10 RE/MAX agents in the entire world. Okay. But the more I promoted RE/MAX, the less listings I got, because it was pretty obvious. The customers didn't understand the benefit in quote RE/MAX. Okay. They didn't understand the benefit in Todd. So I had to run around making claims like your home sold guaranteed or buy it. My name's Todd Walters, your home sold guaranteed or I'll buy it. But understand that's a real estate agent making a claim. So until we turn your USP into a brand and that's who you are, you're going to struggle and continue to struggle with getting your ideal customers in overflow. And that's what we do in Platinum. We turn your USP into a brand. Your brand is your USP. It is who you are by sheer existence. And now you're attracting by sheer existence your ideal customers. One more time, attraction based on existence. That's how you scale a business. If you got to spend money to generate your ideal customers, you may go broke doing that. So we've got to be able to get more out of the marketing that we do. And the last bullet point there is proctorizing your entire business, your CRM. You need at least 7 measurable marketing systems for a 7-figure income. What are they? And a great team orbiting around you. That, my friends, is a really good summary and comparing and contrasting kind of what we're doing with coaching members and how Platinum members, operate differently and are doing really well because of that. But make no mistake about it, that last bullet point right there is how it all starts. Imagine working from a plan on a daily basis, a plan that if you follow it is proven to get you where you want to go. Where do you want to go? Okay, well, for us, our plan is a $4 million gross commission income business. That's our plan. Okay, so we apply that plan to everybody in the Craig Proctor system at the Platinum level and higher. That's all we work from. Okay, so if a member falls short, okay, they can only implement 25% of the plan. That means they're at least making $1 million. So that's pretty good failure, in my opinion. So if you like that, then that's why, we suggested that you guys need to make sure that you jump on and take advantage of that free call that we offered earlier. As a matter of fact, I'll go back there. I'll throw that up on the screen right there. Okay, just so everybody has it. So if you like anything that we've discussed with you today, and you polled yes on, if indeed you upgraded to Platinum and it made your life better, would you be open to taking a look at it? Then for those of you that polled yes, this is what you do next. You go to richagentsystem.com. You get a consult here so we can spend intimate time with you personally in customizing a cut through the crap and build a super profitable business sales team. All right. So Nathan, any other comments about that right there, that opportunity?
I mean, you guys, I want to be able to dive in, help your business out a little bit. If you guys are interested, want to see a little bit more, see how we are actually doing this and helping people do that. That's what this consult will be about. I'll be able to dive into your business, take a little bit more of a look into it, and we can see, are you even ready for this? And two, let's be able to kind of see what you guys need to implement in order to drive your business up.
Yeah. One of the things that now it could have been just me, Nathan, is that I was bankrupt, homeless, living in my father-in-law's basement, and quite frankly, desperate. I let I let the pressure of that sort of dictate what I needed to do. Some people check out of life completely. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I love life. I want to achieve my biggest goals. So I got serious about it. Okay. Some people have to get into a tough situation before they do something about their situation. I don't just think that describes most people here because you're in the Craig Proctor system. So it automatically means you want more and you've already come to that conclusion in your life. But what's happening really right now out there in the marketplace that is a real threat to you and your business? So these are some that we've identified according to Craig Proctor coaching members that we poll and talk to on these consults. These are the things that we hear that you might be able to relate to that we need to do something about. So number one, it's getting more and more costly to generate buyers and sellers through paid media. So if you want more listings, you want, i.e., more sellers, but it's getting more and more costly to get them through paid media as a trend. What are you going to do about it? Like, this is a real trend. I want you guys to understand. What if, how about if I ask you this? What if it took your entire commission check to get a customer? What would you guys do? One more time. Let's say your commission is about 10 grand, but in order to get a listing, it would cost you 10 grand to get it. What would you do? You know, many people, Nathan, they would check out. They would say, well, if that's where this is headed, just forget it. Rather than knowing that there's a completely different way of doing business, which is using customers to get more customers. What if I told you guys that Platinum members routinely list a home and then proceed to generate 10 seller prospects from every one listing that they get? What if I told you that's the business plan rather than let me list a house, put it in MLS and get a commission check and then do it again? Well, when you guys list a home and you run and put it in MLS and you sell it, but you have no additional customers from it, you have to run out there and find another customer on the front end. Since we know it's getting more and more costly to generate buyers and sellers, when I say we, we're talking about, you know, when we're working with Platinum members, since we know it's getting more costly to get buyers, sellers through paid media, we're obviously going to turn one customer into multiples of customers after you get the one customer. This allows you to spend more money on the front end freely, because when you get a customer, you're able to turn them into multiples of other customers at a much, 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 much lower cost. And this allows you basically to crush your competition, because whoever can spend the most amount of money to get a customer wins. So we want you to be able to and be motivated to invest more to get a customer, because you know that when you get them through the marketing systems that we have available to you as a Platinum level member and on up the ladder, you're going to turn the one prospect into a client and then into 10 more seller prospects. That is the average when you implement what's on the business plan. It's called using listings to get more listings. All right. So otherwise, you're going to go out of business. If it's getting more costly to get customers through paid media, you're going to go out of business. You're going to be, it sucks. We don't want that to happen for anybody, but we have solutions for all that. That's good news here. All right. How about this one? How many of you guys have a real estate sales team now and you finding it more and more difficult to find great talent? Yeah, this is not a new thing, but it's getting worse. There's more real estate agents than ever in history, but the talent pool is the smallest it's ever been as a percentage. People don't come into the industry with the skill level that they need to have to win in the marketplace. So what are you going to do? That's a real threat. Now, obviously, since we have so many people here that are doing really, really well, multimillionaire agents, they've obviously have a different system or approach to changing the skills of the people that they bring in. All you need is people with really good attitude. And then you water them with a special kind of water that allows those skills to go and crush the competition. Okay. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you end up with, less and less skilled people because they're not trained as they come into the marketplace. How many of you guys like this other one? Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, they're using your listings to build their billion-dollar companies, not yours. When you list a home and put an MLS, that's what happens. Zillow markets the home, Redfin markets the home, Realtor.com markets the home. They end up with the customers, not you. So MLS is not a marketing system. It's abdication of it. So if you don't have a plan or a system to, quote, counteract that, then you end up with others getting your prospects that you should be getting simply because we're just allowing it to happen. I'm not telling you not to put your homes in MLS. What I'm telling you is that you better have a system for using listings to get more listings. And if you don't have that system in place, the good news is we have it for you. And that's what we work on with all of our platinum level members. That's why you want to take advantage of the opportunity to talk more about it with us. All right. How about this one? iBuyers. Are they gaining more and more market share out there? There's more iBuyers than I've ever seen in my life. I clicked on one the other day, Nathan, on Facebook, and I've been getting just hammered with ads from companies I never even heard of, all claiming they'll buy my house now. So it's everywhere. And what do sellers want to do? They just want to sell their house. So if you're a real estate agent and you approach a prospect with, hey, list your home with me. Well, why would I list my home with you when I could sell it to this person over here or this company over there? And you got to deal with that. If you don't have a response to that or a system to counteract that, what are you going to do? How about commissions? Are they going up or are they trending down? So when I ask people this question, Nathan, they say, well, they're trending down. And I'm like, no, they're trending down for you. Okay, right. But there is a small group of people out there where it's trending up. Wouldn't you want to be in that room? And that room does exist here in the Craig Proctor System universe. Go get in it, okay, if need be. All right, so when I sold my real estate business in April of 2009, my commission average for sellers was $995 upfront and 8% commission. That was my average fee. And we can't say that I did it for a few. Like, again, I'm in the top 20 real estate agents in NAR, National Association of Realtors. Okay, so I was the highest paid real estate professional per transaction as a percentage of sale in the entire Southeastern United States. I'm very proud of it. That means we offered a lot of value. Okay. Buyers, we got 4%, $595 up front. So anyway, all of you guys can do that, but you have to understand that you're not getting that unless you offer something different. All right. That's it. So that's all you got to know is that if you offer what everybody else does, you can expect your commissions to continue to go down. So you got to change. You got to do something different. You got to be a different business, but a different real estate agent. I'd write this down. The way to get rich in real estate is to not be a real estate agent. So here's what we're going to do with you guys. Okay. When you take advantage of the offer that we gave you at richagentsystem.com, you take advantage of that. One of the things I think we want to do is we want to make a list. We want to make a list of all of the, quote, industry norms and standards that you're engaged in right now. We want to really make that list. And the good news is we already have it. But we're going to look at some of that stuff that you're doing right now. And then we want to look at the complete opposite thing to do, which is what we do with the Platts. That's different. This is how you go from being a real estate agent or small team that's dysfunctional or not profitable to super profitable sales team business like that, like quick, not long time, but quick. Okay. And it's fun doing that. But I want to encourage you guys to take advantage of the next step here, which is a one-on-one free consultation, cut through the crap and build a super profitable sales team call. So take advantage of that if you haven't done it yet, especially if you polled yes, since you said you were open to it. If it could make your life better, would you be open to taking a look at it? So take a look at it, richagentsystem.com. That. Nathan, anything we're leaving out here that we need to cover here in the few minutes that we have remaining?
I don't think so, Todd. I think you've hit on a few things. I had a couple questions that have popped up in the chat if we want to kind of go through a couple of those.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get to some of that before I share a couple of things that will blow people's mind to wrap this up today. Go ahead.
Yep. So one of the questions is from Dan. He said, I'm a solo agent earning about $300,000 GCI, looking to hire an inside sales agent and a virtual assistant to help me with my social media and database management. My goal is 500K next year, and I'm looking to get in the next 2 years, is the best way of going about it.
All right, well, let's take a look. All right. So first of all, it's an excellent question. Okay. It's absolutely the question that I would be asking. What's the next thing, or what is the thing that I should do that could get me the results I most want? In other words, what's the one thing that I could change that would change everything else? Beautiful question. Every entrepreneur should be asking this question on a daily basis and seeking to disrupt your status quo. All right. Like he's doing. Great job. All right. So I'm going to answer the question differently than you might think. All right. Here I am on the coaching site in the Platinum new member orientation materials. First thing that happens with a brand new Platinum member. Okay. And every coaching member that kind of upgrades or ascends to Platinum, they'll have similar questions. How do I get more seller leads? Hey, I'm doing this right now. It's working okay, but I really want X. All right. Hey, the business really depends on me because it's all referral business, but now I need, customers beyond that. Hey, I've got these kind of people. It's working okay, but I need different kind of people. Everybody's got those questions. So I'm going to come down here. Instead of getting into the business plan, I'm going to pull up the Cliff Notes of the Platinum Business Plan. It's called a 12-month checklist. Is that okay, Nate, if I do that?
Go for it, my man.
I'm going to open this up. Okay, so this first 12 months checklist is what we do with Platinum members for the first 12 months. And the intention is to help you transform your business from where it is now into a functional, super profitable sales team that works without your involvement, right? In order for something to work without your constant involvement in the sales process, like you said, ISAs and all these other things, in order for that to happen, okay, it does require implementation. Okay. So if I scroll down through these slides here, and I'm going to scroll all the way down to, here we go. I'll blow that up a little bit so you guys can see it. Can you see it okay, Nate?
Yep, I got it.
All right. So here I'm on page 5 of the quote first 12 months checklist. And I want you guys to see 4 things. Okay. And if you're not convinced yet, to go to richagentsystem.com and get on our schedule for a one-on-one consultation to go from where you are now, what transformation really looks like versus incremental gains or staying the same. Understand that your choices as an entrepreneur and business person are pretty straight up forward. You can go down one path where you figure things out. And figuring things out is like hearing ideas, asking questions. Somebody tells you what to do. That's like direction. That's what I mean by figuring things out. Now, when you figure something out, it's akin to invention. All right. Now, I didn't do that because I was at a place in my life where I didn't have time to figure things out. So I went down the pathway of finding out. And that is a profound difference mentally for everyone here to know about. You can try to figure things out or you can find out. Now, what are the differences between figuring out and finding out? Finding out is knowing that it's already being done by someone else. And what I need to do is know what that is. All right. And put that in place in my business. So here's the good news for all of you. Everything that you want to do, quote, in real estate is already being done by someone else today. It's already being done. You don't need to figure anything out. You just need to, quote, find out. So if you want a millionaire agent business, if your goal is 500 grand, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, freedom, sell your business down the road, whatever your goal is, already being done. And your job right now is to figure out the top level, not your next move, not the next thing that you need to do, but what is it that you most want to achieve? And then reverse engineer that to today and make that move. because the move you will make based on your present circumstance may very well likely not get you to ultimately to be where you most want to be. And that's the best advice I can give all of you guys. So that's why we start with platinum members. Like, what do you most want to achieve? Well, what I really want is I want a business that works without me, that earns me like $1 million in net income. Well, that's going to dictate your next move. Not, hey, what I want next week or what I want next year is I want X. No. What do you want 3 years from now, 5 years from now? Okay, let's reverse engineer that and make that move. And it's two different moves. Is that right, Nate?
Yes, no question.
This is why we answered the question for platinum members differently. It's like, I know what you said you wanted to do, but what do you really want? What's your vision? Where do you want your life and business to be 3 years from now, 10 years from now? What does that look like? And that conversation is not an easy conversation, but it's a starting point you can see in the Platinum Business Plan. We start there because that's always different. And then what we do is we just pretend like we're baking that cake. All right, we're going to bake that cake. We're going to bake the cake of, in this case, let's say $3 million in revenue. Because I bet you that the person that asked this question that's doing 300 grand can easily identify with making 3 million. That's 10 times the size or the scope of what he's doing right now. And if you can make 300 grand on your own, you can make $3 million hands down. That's a person that can do that. All right. But that's the question. The question has to get asked differently now. It's like, what do you ultimately want? What do I really want is to net 1 million after expenses. I'm like, okay, that's a $3 million business. So if you want to net $1 million and you're not having to go on appointments, let's bake that cake. Right. And a lot of people think that whatever they're going to do right now, their ideas for their next move they're going to end up with that kind of cake. And the answer is no, because you've never done it before. You've never baked that cake before. So what's likely to happen is the ingredients that you're putting in place today, you're going to end up with a cake that you don't like the taste of, and you got to throw the whole thing away. That's what you have to do with a cake that you don't like. You throw it away. You don't eat it. You throw it away and start over. Throw it away and start over. Throw it away and start over. And my point is like, stop with that. Go forward in time with what you most want. We're going to reverse engineer that to today, and that's the move you make. So our entire business plan is based on a business that nets out at over $1 million, not makes 500 grand, not makes $1 million, but nets out at $1 million or more, 4 million in revenue. So everything we do in the plan is intentionally to get people there, every single move, okay, that we do. So I want to show you guys this on the business plan. So on this Platinum Business Plan, if we were upgrading you today into Platinum, and some of you guys should have already done this, all right? If we were upgrading you into Platinum on orientation day, we start out with this. Hey, incidentally, in order to grow your business, you got to have an overflow. Like you can't grow it without overflow, whether you're doing 10 deals or 100 deals. At whatever point you don't have more business you can get to, you can't grow it. So the first thing we have to do is put that ingredient in place, no matter what we do. That's the ultimate ingredient for growing a business. Not desire, not intention, but overflow. When you have more business you can handle, no matter what day it is, now or in the future, guess what? Your business is always growing. And it grows sort of whether you want it to or not, because you have more business you get to, you put other people in place to handle the overflow. Is that right? So that will drive your business more than your desire, more than your intention, more than your ideas, more than your goals. Is if you have overflow all the time, you will end up with a business that is substantially more than you have right now because you have more than you can get to. So it's the first mindset change that has to happen. And I learned this from Craig Proctor, this little trick, when I first got involved in it. So we make sure that Platinum members have that. We don't talk to Platinum members about, anything other than growing a real estate sales team business. And the reason is because we're successful at getting all of them to have overflow. And it starts the first day. How do we do that? Okay, well, Nathan, wasn't too long ago when Craig would send me his ads that he would run in his marketplace up in New Market. And I would look at these ads. And one day it hit me that he had over 100 ads running on any given day. And I was like, is it that simple? just have over 100 ads running on any given day. I got a business like Craig. So I looked at how many ads I was running. It was about 20 or 30 ads on any given day. And I got my marketing person together and I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to run over 100 ads on any given day. Now, back then we had to pay for every ad. Today, you don't have to pay for any. And it's important that you understand that running ads in free places is very valuable, much more valuable than running ads in paid places. And the reason is because if you can make it work in free, then you want to spend money on that. If you can't make it work in free, you don't want to spend money on that. Does that make sense to everybody? So that's why that's a starting point with Platinum members. All right. And it's really as simple as getting up in the morning, creating, a new ad and running it in 3 places. That's 3 new ads a day. At the end of 5 days, I got 50 new ads running. At the end of 2 weeks, I have 30 ads running on any given day. Let me ask you, how many of you guys have at least 30 ads running on any given day? All right. But it's not just any ad. It's an ad template. And the ad template targets buyers with a house to sell. Let me repeat, the ad template targets buyers with a house to sell. So we force Platinum members into target marketing people with a house to sell from day one. This dictates the next moves. Okay. Now, here's what I know about our friend that asked the question. Within 6 weeks, your problem is implementation. You have overflow. Now we've got processes and other things that are issues. So the suggestion we make is you need a person that can help you manage your business, not a virtual assistant, not an ISA, but you need a person that can help you manage your business. And the number one thing you need to get managed is implementation. All right. So that's where we start with Platinum members. Nope. We don't suggest go out and hire an ISA. Nope. We don't suggest go out and get a VA. We start with what Elon Musk would do, what Bill Gates would do, what Donald Trump would do, what Craig Proctor would do, what Nathan would do, what Todd would do, is we're going to get someone to help us manage the growth of our business, not do the work as a direct result of the growth, like a VA or transaction coordinator, but someone to help us implement processes and marketing to guarantee overflow. And that is a starting point that most real estate agents don't do because they're not following a plan to achieve ultimately what they most want. They're following a plan of what they want now. Okay. Everybody wants to sell more homes and make more money right now, but how many people end up with what they most want? Okay. Which is the business that we've described today. So if you like what we've discussed today, if you like any of it, all right, and you want what we're describing, we could continue this conversation every day of every week for the next several years together if you want. This is all that we do. Okay. And when I go to the coaching site, like I'm here right now, I want you guys to look over here on the right-hand side of the screen. Just look on the right-hand side. All right. These things say platinum, 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 platinum. There are over 70 file libraries with platinum for Platinum members. And in each one of these libraries, I'll just click on Platinum Recruiting OSA. In every single library, like in the recruiting library for outside sales, there's 117 files. There is over 8,000 files for Platinum members. It is a multi-millionaire agent business with every resource and every detail, including member examples to copy and implement. There is nothing not there. It is a complete multi-millionaire agent business franchise for Platinum guys. All right. So if you want it to be easier for you, then you want to dive in and take the next step, which is check it out at richagentsystem.com. Let's give you one example there. So Nathan, any final comments?
Last one, a question I got was, if I'm a coaching member and I go into Platinum, the $12,000 I originally paid, how does that work? So just to give you guys a heads up, yes, we will take the credit of whatever you have unused. So the days you have left, we'll take that and we will apply it to Platinum. So if you're wondering what you need to do or what that looks like or how it looks like, you can basically let us or ask us in that email sitting right there, platinum@toddwalters.com. If you want to know how much credit you guys have left, or just hop on a call with me, which would probably be preferable. If you just go to richagentsystem.com, I'll be able to kind of run you through it, show you exactly what it needs to look like, and be able to help you get your business out. So probably be the best thing to be able to do.
All right. So on today's session, our mission was to introduce you guys to doing things a different way. Now, it is not possible to help you transform your business from where it is now to a multi-millionaire agent business, let alone a super profitable sales team, in a webinar. This is something that requires day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month, and year-to-year work together, following a plan that is successful. And that's what we do with platinum level members. It's not like we get together every now and then. This is the daily process of working with people to achieve their biggest goals and results. So it's a lot of help. That help comes with a team of people. So, you have your coach right now. So now you get like 6 additional people as helping you, including Todd, Nathan, Cheryl, and Chase, among others. We're here to help you if you want it. And we covered all of these bullet points today. And I promise you guys that Cheryl's going to send you these materials down here that we had checked off. You're going to get them. All right. But if you like the concept, the mindset, the ideas, the strategies, all that kind of stuff to get you to a business like this, all right, where you got a really great team of people orbiting around you, the best advice I can give you is just don't try to figure it out. Just, be more anxious to copy and implement existing things. And you just need to get your hands on those details. All right. And so if you like Craig and you like our concepts and ideas as a coaching member, then you want to look at becoming a platinum member if you qualify. All right. And then it gets easier for you. That I can assure you. That's why it exists. It doesn't exist for any other reason but to fast track people who like the Craig Proctor system and really understand just the basics of coaching, which I shared them with you. You got the basics? Good. You're ready for the next level if you qualify. And again, you got to qualify by being in the top 5% of income earners in the country. That's about $8,000 a month, somewhere between 80 and 100 grand a year. You're in the, congratulations, you're in the top 5% of income earners. That's cool. That's definitely a milestone. That means you're in more than 95% of everyone else. Now, what are we going to do? Let's do this. So go to richagentsystem.com. We'll continue our conversation there. Other than that, we're out of time. We've got a 4:00 meeting with platinum members, I believe, right, Nathan?
We do.
Yeah. So we better go jump on that. We appreciate you guys polling today too. We'll follow up for those of you guys that polled and set up a one-on-one consultation around that. Other than that, thanks to Nathan, thanks Cheryl for making all this work. You guys dig in to the Craig Proctor system and let's go make history. Thanks again, everyone. Go serve big. We'll see you.